Hello, 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 my friends, and welcome to the marvelous Monday broadcast of Miss Hope's Reading Hour. So glad to be with you all this evening. Hopefully, you had a really great weekend. So how was your weekend? My weekend was pretty good. Well, on Saturday, we had a birthday party for my nephew. Um, he turned 11 and he likes everything anime and Asian and Japanese and all of that. So we had a um, really anime Asian type birthday party for him. We had dumplings and something called dashi. It's a certain kind of broth, like soup broth. And we didn't get to try it. We forgot to bring it out, but we always try to have him try some type of exotic fruit. So we were going to try dragon fruit. But unfortunately, we forgot to bring out the dragon fruit. But for the first time, he got to taste mochi. And mochi is an ice cream in a rice dough, like a sweet rice dough, and then there's ice cream in the middle. And since he likes vanilla, we got vanilla. They were so good. At first, he was like, I'm not sure if I like the rice, but I was like, you know what? It tastes really good when you just bite down on it and you eat it together. And he was like, oh, yeah, it does taste really good that way. So we still got him to try something new. They usually come in little discs, like about this size, and they're kind of flat. Sometimes they're a little like raised like that, but it's like different flavors of ice cream inside of this thin rice dough. So my family and him, they got to try mochi for the first time. Um, Also on the birthday front, I want to wish my sister Joy, I want to wish her a very, 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 very happy birthday. My sister is one of those nurse heroes. She is a nurse and she is so good with her patients. And I want to wish her a very, very happy birthday. She is actually my nephew who's 11. She is his mother. So, I just want to wish her a happy birthday and let her know that I love her so much and I'm so proud of her and her hero status. Because, of course, remember, this is Women's History Month. Happy Women's History Month. And remember, we said women's history isn't just for a month. Women's history is happening all the time because women are always making history. And just because you are not making history on the world stage doesn't mean that you are not making a difference right where you are. Women, grandmothers, aunties, young girls, little itty bitties, you can still make a difference right where you are. And remember, thank you to the uncles, daddies, granddads, stepfathers, play dads, all of those men who make sure that women and girls feel like they are unstoppable. Okay? So, hopefully you had a really great day today in school, no matter how you're going to school. Here in Philadelphia, our youngest students from pre-K to second grade, some of the schools opened up for hybrid school, where they're going to school for 2 days and then the other 3 days they're at home. So hopefully they can get into the swing of things with that, and it won't be too hard of a transition. I know many of them will be so happy to see their teachers. But whatever way that you are going to school, hopefully today was a great start to your school week. And hopefully you're getting outside, because if you notice, when you wake up in the morning, even when it's a little dark, what do you hear? You start hearing birds, right? So that means spring is just around the corner. And here in Philadelphia, it was such a nice day today. I did get a chance to go outside just for a little bit, but the weather was so nice. And near the end of the week, just to let you know, just a little sneak peek on the weather, it's going to be in the 60s near the end of the week, my friends, here in the tri-state area. So please make sure that you get outside and get some fresh air and vitamin D on your skin and some fun time outside with your family or your friends. And if it's your friends, remember, try to be safe with the mask, some social distancing, okay? All right, now, before we get to the books, you all know the disclaimer. Unfortunately, Miss Hope and Miss Hope's Reading Hour do not own the rights to any of the wonderful music that you hear or the books that we're going to read. But they are here for your listening and reading enjoyment. Also, I'm looking down at the box from the last 2 shipments of books. We went from a pile of books this big. We are down to a pile of books about that big. So why am I telling you that? Because my Miss Hope's Reading Hour friends, please make sure that you donate any size, any amount to the Miss Hope's Reading Hour library. You can do that via Cash App by the Cash App handle HopeGM, HOPEGM, all one word, all lowercase. Donate any amount to Miss Hope's Reading Hour. And also, you can send digital gift cards to our email address, and it is all down here in our ticker, okay? And also, if you want to send books to me yourself, you can email me and I can give you all the details so that you will be able to send me some books, all right? Now, let us get into our books. Today, I was looking through my books, and both of these are books that were gift books, people who just gave me books. So I was like, women's history. But we still do want to talk about the experience of women and girls. Maybe not just famous people, but just the experience of being a girl or a young woman. So I was like, what is very important to girls? What they wear. So if you saw the ticker, you saw our first 2 books. But that's what we're going to talk about. Why are the things that we wear sometimes important? Are they important for a specific purpose or for a certain event? So that is what our first 2 books are about today. So let's get into the books, shall we? Our first book is called Under My Hijab. Under My Hijab. This book is by Henna Khan, illustrated by Aliyah Jalil. Under My Hijab. This right here around her face, wrong way, is her hijab. Under My Hijab. Our next book is called Flower Girl Butterflies. Isn't she cute? This book is by Elizabeth Fitzgerald Howard, illustrated by Christiane Cromer. Flower Girl Butterflies. All right. And of course, you know we are learning more about our girl who ain't no junk, Patina. Patty Ain't No Junk by Jason Reynolds. We are learning more about her and her family. The one thing I want to know is, how did they okie-doke her into joining the track team? I want to find out what that story is. Patina, Patty Ain't No Junk by Jason Reynolds. Now, my friends, let us get into the books. Under My Hijab. This book is by Henna Khan. Let's see. Oh, it looks the same underneath the dust jacket. It looks the same. Let's see who publishes this book. This book is a Lee and Low Books Incorporated book. All right. Oh, these pictures are awesome too. Grandma peeks into the oven as a brown loaf of bread starts to rise. Her hijab is carefully folded, like the crusts on my favorite pies. When she's at home in her kitchen, Grandma fixes her hair in a bun. We mix up some chocolate cookies and share a treat when they're done. Oh, that's the best. When you're cooking with the cook, you always get to taste test before everybody else. I had that experience with Mama. Mama makes jokes with her patient as she peers in his ears and his throat. Her bright pink hijab looks so cheerful, tucked into her tidy white coat. At home, Mama lets her long hair down as she rolls up the sleeves on her shirt. We laugh while we plant pretty flowers and make a big mess with the dirt. Gardening is messy, but all of the beautiful plants and flowers make up for the mess. Auntie works hard in her studio. She's always dressed funky and cool. Her silky hijab towers up high, pinned with a handsome jewel. I help hang my very own painting on the wall of her colorful home. Auntie's hair is streaked pink and purple, a fine work of art she can comb. Jenna's our fearless troop leader. She makes us the gooeyest s'mores. Her hijab is topped with a sun hat whenever we hike the outdoors. When dark falls, we huddle together and share spooky stories all night. Jenna's hair glows as she whispers. I shiver and hold her arm tight. Is that because she's cold, or is it because she's a little scared of the stories? My sister, Zanya, in high school, wears something stylish each day. She puts on a fashionable outfit and wraps her hijab in a cute way. Make sure you see the pictures. Zanya ties her hair in the evening when she takes a short break from her book. Then we dig through the clothes in her closet to find her tomorrow's fresh look. I can imagine the teenager like, help me find something cool to wear. Iman tries to earn her first black belt. A sporty hijab frames her face. When she cracks a board into pieces, I'm amazed her hijab stays in place. At my house, we dance to some music. I teach Iman moves that I know. My cousin's curls bounce, jump, and tumble as we put on our own private show. These wonderful girls and smart women inspire me with all that they do. I can wear my hijab like each of them, or try something totally new. Under my hijab, in a headband or a clip with butterfly wings, my hair shines bright like my future. I can't wait to see what it brings. So, about the hijab. Like many other religions, Islam asks its followers, both men and women, to dress in a modest way. Hijab is a common word for a headscarf that millions of Muslim women wear to cover their hair and often their ears, neck, and chests. They may choose to dress in the hijab to reflect their faith, to feel closer to God, or because they believe their religion requires them to keep these parts of the body private. Women put on the scarf when they go to work or school, play sports, or do any activity in a public setting. But they uncover when they are at home with the men in their immediate families or in the company of other women and girls. Young girls may practice wearing a hijab as part of a school uniform or to mirror the women in their lives. However, most girls don't wear the hijab regularly until adolescence. It is important to note that many observant Muslim women, including the author of this book, choose not to wear a hijab based on their personal interpretations of Islamic religious requirements. Yet they may cover their hair in certain situations, such as when visiting a mosque or while praying. As you saw on these pages, the hijab, like other types of clothing, is worn in many different styles depending on a person's individual taste and culture. And it can be a beautiful expression of the Islamic faith. Oh, I thought it would have a picture of the author. Let's see. Oh, there she is. No, this is the illustrator. Oh, that's the author at the top. She chooses not to wear one. And that's the illustrator at the bottom, and she chooses to wear one. So, sometimes the things that we wear are because they are an expression of our faith or our culture. Like if you've seen African women in the headdresses that they wear, or sometimes the hair wraps that I wear, I like to wear them because I think they're beautiful, and also as an expression of my heritage, because I recently found out parts of Africa that my ancestors may be from. But I've always loved African headdresses. And some of them wear them because of how beautiful they are as an expression of their culture or as an expression of their religion. And such is the same as the hijab. And one way that you show respect is by never pulling on it, never grabbing it, because that's something that's important to them. So just like I love my glasses, I love wearing glasses. I'm probably going to get a whole bunch of pairs of glasses. But one thing I wouldn't like is if someone came and said, "Let me see your glasses." And I'm like, why are you grabbing my glasses? Also, my hair. I don't wear my hair straight very much. I like my natural hair. But one thing that I feel is, no, I don't want you to just come up and touch it and say, "Oh, I want to see how that feels." That's kind of disrespectful and not respecting my boundaries, which is one of the things about the hijab or other people who wear headscarves or head coverings. You have to respect their space and their person, and also respect why they wear it, or in some cases, why they don't. So this is a very good book because it shows that even though these women wear the hijab, they are regular people, just like you. They just happen to cover their hair. Her mother's a doctor. Her grandmother has a bakery. Her sister is in high school. But they're just like you and me. They just wear a headdress. Very good book. I'm so glad I got a chance to read that one. Now for our next book, Flower Girl Butterflies by Elizabeth Fitzgerald Howard. Who is the publisher of this? Oh, this is a scholastic book. So let's read about why the flower girl gets butterflies. Something special. Aunt Robin is getting married. She's going to marry somebody nice called Jeff. He will be my new uncle, Uncle Jeff. I have never been to a wedding, but Aunt Robin wants me to be her flower girl. Flower girls are supposed to walk down the aisle in front of the bride and scatter flowers from a basket. Everybody will be watching me. I know I'm going to be scared. A new dress. Soon after Aunt Robin asked me to be her flower girl, she said, "Sarah, we have to go shopping. We must buy you a pretty dress to wear in my wedding." So we went downtown to a store that sells flower girl dresses. I tried on 5 pretty dresses. The 5th one was the best. When I twirled in it, the skirt flew out all around me. "What do you think, Sarah?" Aunt Robin asked me. "Which one do you like?" I asked Aunt Robin. "The one you have on now," she said, giving me a hug. "Oh, Aunt Robin," I said. I just knew my aunt and I would choose the same dress. I loved my beautiful dress so much, but I'm still scared about being a flower girl. Butterflies. Aunt Robin says I have to walk from the way back of the church to the way front and stand beside her for the whole wedding. But suppose I forget to throw the flowers. Suppose I drop my basket. Suppose I trip and fall. Maybe something will happen So I can't be a flower girl. Maybe I'll get a sore throat and measles and chickenpox too. I can't be in the wedding if I'm sick. Maybe Snuffy and Spoofy will steal my new white party shoes and chew holes in them, the way they chewed Daddy's new sneakers. I can't be a flower girl if my party shoes are all chewed up. Maybe the wind will blow my flower girl dress out of the window into a mud puddle. I can't walk down the aisle in a muddy dress. I told Aunt Robin how I felt. Sarah, she said, I will be so sad if you are not my flower girl. I don't want Aunt Robin to be sad, but I don't like being scared. And I am. Guests are coming. The wedding is tomorrow. Some relatives will be staying at our house. I helped Mommy think where everyone could sleep. My room will be a good place, I told Mommy. I will sleep in the TV room with my cousin Trina and my cousin Amy. Aunt Susan and Aunt Laura will sleep in my room. I made space on my desk for all their makeup and perfume. I bet you she wishes she could get into some of all of it. My two grannies are going to sleep in our real guest room, where they will talk a lot. Cousin Chaz and Uncle Chucky and Uncle Joey will sleep in the attic. Uncle Joey always picks me up to ride on his shoulders. Uncle Chucky always has candy in his pockets, which he sneaks to me. Cousin Chaz plays pretend games with me. Today we pretend my house is a hotel. Room service, Cousin Chaz calls. I take him a banana and a glass of milk on a tray. I almost forget that I'm scared about being in the wedding. The rehearsal. We have to practice walking down the aisle. It's about a mile long. My tummy feels funny, I whisper to Mommy. Oh, honey, it's just butterflies, says Mommy. Look, there's Uncle Jeff's little cousin, Willie. Willie is the ring bearer. He will carry the wedding rings on a pillow just the way you will carry your basket of flowers. But Willie is holding tight to his mom. I can tell he's very, very scared. Oh dear, Willie is lying on the floor. Now he's crying and kicking his feet. He says he won't be the ring bearer. He says he won't even come to the wedding. I look at Aunt Robin. She has tears in her eyes. Willie, I call to him. Willie, watch me when I walk. Willie stops crying and kicking. He watches me. I wonder if he knows that I'm scared too. The big day. Today is the wedding. What a busy morning. The telephone and the doorbell never stop ringing. 11 packages come in the mail for Aunt Robin. The man in the brown truck brings 7 more. People bring flowers and more flowers. And my flower girl basket. All the uncles and aunts and cousins and grannies get dressed for the wedding. Sarah, can you thread my needle? My short granny asks. Sarah, can you buckle my belt? My tall granny asks. Weddings are busy, busy days. I put on my tights and party shoes. Then my beautiful flower girl dress. I feel like a princess. Then I remember the long walk to the way front of the church. The wedding. In the back of the church, Aunt Robin smiles at me. She looks like a fairy queen in her wedding dress. Sarah, she says, you are so beautiful, and I am so happy that you are my flower girl. Aunt Laura is buttoning my last button. Aunt Susan is fluffing up my sash. I am so excited. I take a deep, deep breath. I will not forget to flow the flowers just right. I will not drop my basket. I will not trip and fall. I will be wonderful, Sarah. I'm sorry, you will be wonderful, Sarah, Mama says. She kisses me and goes to sit with Daddy. When the music starts, the bridesmaids walk down the aisle one by one. There goes Willie. He is carrying the little pillow with the wedding rings fastened on tight, and he's not crying. I smile at him. It's almost my turn. Now, good job, Willie. Now, look at those flowers fly. The party. I did it. And I forgot to be scared. Willie didn't cry once. Now we are all smiling at one another and smiling for the photographer and eating and dancing. Aunt Robin dances with Uncle Jeff. Mommy dances with Daddy. My grannies are dancing with my uncles. Aunt Laura and Aunt Susan are dancing with everybody. I am dancing with Cousin Chaz. And my flower girl dress is twirling and twirling. Willie and I try dancing together, and we both fall down laughing. Sounds like an awesome party. After we eat delicious wedding cake, Aunt Robin and Uncle Jeff leave for their wedding trip. We throw birdseed at them. Now the wedding is over. As I fall asleep, I think to myself, I loved being the flower girl. I wonder if Aunt Laura or Aunt Susan will be getting married soon. The end. Oh, I love this story. First of all, I love weddings. First of all. But this story is so sweet because at first, this special dress, she loved it. Loved how it twirled, how it made her feel. And then she was like, oh, wait a minute. I remember I have to wear this for the wedding. I don't know if I want to go down that aisle, that mile-long aisle to the way front of the church. I don't know. But then on the day, once she put that dress on, she remembered she had a duty. She had a promise to keep. I'm wearing this dress not just for me, but for my aunt on her beautiful wedding day. And as soon as she put on the dress, she felt like a princess. Sometimes the things that you wear, it can change your mood. You might be afraid or scared. Imagine the first day of school and you really love what you got for the first day of school, and then you're like, I don't know if I'm ready for this first day in a new class or a new grade. And then you put on that backpack and those sneakers and those pants or that uniform, have your hair done in a certain way, and you're like, I'm ready. That's how clothes can sometimes make you feel. And even as girls, sometimes when we wear our earrings, wear our glasses, when we have a special dress that we like to wear, we feel like we can take on the world. So sometimes the clothes may not be as important in someone's opinion as the hijab or as a head wrap. Sometimes the clothes can just change your mood and help you to know, you know what, I can do this. I'm powerful. I can make things happen. And that's exactly what happened for this young girl in Flower Girl Butterflies. She was afraid at first, but she knew once she put on the dress, well, I have to be an example for Willie. And I want to do this for my aunt's wedding and make it special, because her wedding will be special because I'm in it too. Loved that story. Loved it. And did you see how she was throwing them flowers? She was like, flowers. Like, I am here. I am the flower girl. I have flowers on my dress. I am about to throw these flowers and be the most awesome flower girl ever. Okay? So I love that book. Hello, Miss Brandy. I'm so glad that you are with us this evening, you and the guys. Well, my friends, you know what we're about to do. We're about to get back into Patina. Find out what's going on in her life. So just to let you know, this is a Simon & Schuster book. I don't know if I ever told you guys who the publisher of this book was. So we are now in chapter 3, I believe. Yes, we are in chapter 3. So where we ended off at was where Patina's uncle was telling how proud her father was about how fast she was moving around the house as baby. And then when he would take her out and tell her, run as fast as you can, and she was running really fast, he was like gushing to her Uncle Tony about how happy he was about how fast she could run. And then she said that they kind of okiedoked her into getting on the track team. I want to find out how they okiedoked her, like how they kind of tricked her into being a part of the track team. So that's where we are in chapter 3 of Patina. Patty Ain't No Junk by Jason Reynolds. Chapter 3. Where did I end off at? Oh no, I ended off here. Before then, I never even thought about running. It didn't even cross my mind, even though I used to smoke all the boys in gym class at school, including Lou, who would get all in his feelings and be almost about to cry. Lou would be so salty, fronting like he wasn't impressed, which didn't matter because running ain't mean nothing to me anyway. Not like for real. But after hearing Uncle Tony talk about my dad like that, something clicked. And one night, a few months later, after Ma's legs were gone, after a crazy moment with Maddie, and I do mean crazy, that I'll get to later on, I asked Momly and Uncle Tony to sign me up on a team. And they jumped to it because to them, it was also a good way for me to, I guess, deal with all the changes I was going through. Balance out all the wild stuff. So proving myself on this new track team, the Defenders, was still just running, even if it was elite. I mean, no matter how you look at it, it's still listen to your coaches at practice and wait to hear the gun at the meets. Then run. Nothing to it. But proving myself at Chester Academy, also elite, was trickier, way trickier, because there were no practices, no coaches, and no starting pistols telling me when to leave everybody in the dust. Matter of fact, ain't even no dust at Chester. And running ain't nothing these girls are concerned with at all unless it was running their mouths. Chester Academy is one of those schools that go from kindergarten all the way up to 12th grade, but the different levels are broken into three wings of the building. The South Wing, which was where the high school was. The East Wing, which was 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. And the North Wing, which was elementary. Maddie's domain. Yep, she's at Chester too, and she loves it. But that's because this is the only school she's ever been at. She's never been in a school where you don't have to wear pleated paper bags. She never went to school with boys. And yes, boys make school really, really annoying sometimes, but they also can make it pretty fun, or at least funny. Maddie never went to a school with mostly black kids either. She's only known life as a raisin in milk, as Ma puts it, where lunch is sauteed prawn, which ain't nothing but a fancy way to say cooked shrimp, and this stuff called couscous, which is basically just grits without the glob. Me, I'm a proud product of Barnaby Terrace School System, where we ate nasty rectangle pizza, I don't miss that part, and drank chocolate milk for lunch, where we played pranks on people and traded candy while talking trash after school, where we had fun. Chester, well, I ain't had 1 second of fun at Chester yet. Matter of fact, when I walk down that busy hall in the morning, I keep my eyes down, focus on the floor, because I ain't got time to be stunned on by a whole bunch of rich girls whose daddies own stuff. Not like cars and clothes, though they got those too, but stuff like boats. Ain't even no water nowhere near here, but these fools got boats. And they don't just own their houses, they own buildings and businesses. Not like a corner store or a weekend dinner plate situation or nothing like that. I'm talking businesses. My dad, he wanted to start his own business. Another one of those birthday stories. A cupcake shop. And maybe if he didn't never wake up, he would have done it. But I bet he wouldn't have bought no boat. But that's who these girls' daddies were. What they did. And if your daddy got himself a boat and a building, what does he get you? Probably some kind of crazy pet like a horse. Can you even teach a horse how to guard your house? The other thing about these girls is that it seems that they ain't never been told they can't do nothing. Never. I mean, they be wearing full faces of makeup and everything. Do you know what my mother would do if she saw me with my whole face made up for school, like I was about to go on some kind of fashion shoot or something? She'd probably try to run me over with that wheelchair. But here at Chester, as long as your face is selfie ready 100% of the time, you got a chance. A chance at what? Well, I don't really know. All I know is I ain't got one. What I got is track. I got Ghost, Sunny, and I can't believe I'm going to say this. Lou. That's what I got. Who I got? So I don't really care about these selfie readies. Well, that's not really true. I care a little bit. So, what y'all do this weekend? I asked Taylor Stein, Taylor Dorsey, and Becca Broward. It was Monday in history class, which meant it was also the second day of the worst group project of all time in the history of life. The four of us had been lumped together last Friday to start on this assignment about an important woman from the past. And in 2 weeks, we would have to do a presentation on her. On Friday, all we did was nail down who we were going to focus on. My first choice was my hero, Florence Flojo Joyner, but none of the girls in my group knew who she was. Seriously? How do you not know one of the flyest runners to ever take a lap? There was a woman named Madeline Manning, who was probably the best American 800-meter runner, and that's my race. But still, Flojo was it. Plus, those nails. She looked like she raced during the day and was in a singing group at night. So anyway, then I tossed out my second choice, which was Harriet Tubman, who to me was also a pretty good suggestion. Running from slavery and then coming back all those times to free everybody else, like a relay through the Underground Railroad, and Uncle Tony said she might be the new face of the $20 bill. That's major. But the girls weren't feeling that either. And these are the moments I miss not going to school with Cotton, because she would have been like, yo, you know how crazy it would be to see my face on money? Like $100 bill? I'd be framed in every corner store in the hood. Your girl looking like money on money. But that's not how the conversation went in my history group. Instead, it was all, Harriet Tubman's just too serious. So when I asked who they were thinking about, Becca, who was one of these girls who swore she was going to be a star when she grew up, said we should do the project on this lady named Sally Ride. First woman in space, she said, strangely pointing up at the ceiling. Okay, I can't front. Not a bad suggestion. But then Taylor said, for the second time, all these choices were too serious, as if the topic wasn't a serious topic. I mean, it's hard to be seen as important if you ain't never been through nothing serious. But Taylor, who goes by TT, one of the few nicknames, decided to add her 2 cents. By the way, I'd want my face on the penny, because pennies be everywhere and they'd get my skin tone right. And muddy up our brainstorming session with a brilliant suggestion of Taylor Swift. Becca didn't say nothing, and I wanted to shoot it down because we already had a Taylor and a Taylor in the group, and I just couldn't take another one. But thankfully, Taylor hit TT with a swift no. So since serious was all I kept hearing on Friday, I decided to keep Monday light by trying out some of that Momly Ma special. Some good old small talk. And no, I didn't know why I care. I don't know why I care. Why these girls in my class matter to me, except for the fact that I'm just trying to make the best of the situation. I figured weekends had to be a common bond. I mean, it don't matter who you are. Saturday is Saturday. This weekend, well, TT started. She used the long, skinny part of a pen cap to scrape grime from under her nails. Saturday, I hit the mall. Me too, Taylor followed. I know you did, because you were with me, TT squealed to Taylor, clenching her fingers into a bear paw to check her nails. Oh, I guess I should make clear that TT and Taylor are best friends. Besties, another word I don't like. It's just stupid. Bestie and best friend take the exact same amount of time to say. It ain't like an abbreviation. That's like me calling my teammates my teenies. Anyway, not only are Taylor and TT best friends, but they're also cousins, and pretend to be sisters. Sissies, they they're like attached at the ponytail and call themselves TNT, which is funny because most of the time I wish they'd explode. Here's my issues. Not with bestie cousin sisters, but with group projects. One of the group members always has to volunteer their house for everyone to go over to and work on the presentation, which was never really a good thing because 2A, ain't nobody coming to my house and I don't want to go to theirs, and 2B, only one person in the group actually does any work, which brings me to 3, that person is me. So, as the Ailers started going on about whether or not they should both take a t-shirt, the same exact t-shirt, back to exchange it for a smaller size, and Becca was off in space, it was me who reached into my backpack and pulled out printouts of the images of this Mexican painter lady, Frida Kahlo. I'd swiped them from the internet over the weekend. Frida Kahlo was who we all settled on Friday, by the way, with the help of Miss Lanford, who figured political stuff, sick stuff, service stuff, and art stuff could all be explored in the life of this one artist. I was cool with it. I mean, she wasn't Harriet or Flojo, but this lady Frida wore suits, stood up to dudes, and had issues with her legs. Good enough for me. After a few seconds of the other girls looking at the images, I got tired of waiting for them to ask how my weekend was. Not like they would have cared about me cooking Maddie's breakfast, making sure she ate her dinner, doing Maddie's hair, church with the ma and the Stinky Thomases, then letting Maddie crawl in bed with me last night while I counted all the beads in her hair one by one, hoping she'd be asleep before I got to 90. Plus, on top of that, finding time to research Frida Kahlo for this project and not go to the mall. Oh, and I had to run. But still, I was waiting for them to ask, waiting for them to be normal, or at least treat me normal. Well, I had a track meet. I threw out there, out of the blue, not like I really wanted to talk about that either, but I was willing to just try to connect or whatever. Whoa, this lady is in a desperate need of some tweezers, Taylor said, actually pinching the paper between Frida Kahlo's eyes. Came in first in the 800 meters, I lied, still waiting on anyone to say something about it, to acknowledge me. But before anyone did, Miss Lanford popped over to check on us. How are we doing, ladies? Miss Lanford was now standing beside our desks, which had been pushed together into a square. All of us facing each other, the pictures of Frida, bright-colored self-portraits including monkeys, birds, and flowers spread out. All the girls flashed toothpaste commercial smiles and gave different versions of good. I bit my bottom lip and prayed for the bell. After school, I never wasted time in my locker. I scurried down to the end of the main corridor, eyes darting from forward to floor, through the mess of hair flippers, the rathletes, kids who feel like it's a sport to make everyone's life miserable, the know-it-alls, the know-nothings, the hush-hushes, super quiet, super shy, the YMBCs, you might be cuckoo, the girls who wear all black and cover their backpacks with buttons and pins, and the girls whose boyfriends, brothers, and fathers all wear khaki pants. Everybody. day. I know this sounds kind of mean, but it's real. So real. It's like a rich kid obstacle course. And once I make it all the way to the end, I walk through the courtyard to the north wing, where I then have to maneuver through the younger version of all those same categories, except way cuter and less annoying. And the cutest and least annoying of them all, in my opinion, is Maddie, who I always find waiting for me just outside her teacher, Miss Stein's, who she calls Miss S's door. Ready? I ask, awkwardly wrapping my arms around her detachable hunchback she calls a backpack. Only way I can get a hug in with that thing on. Yup. She turns around and throws the peace sign up to her friends, then turns back and squeezes me, tries to lift me. It's something she's been doing for a while. She has a weird obsession with being strong and proving she can lift heavy things. She got it, and the peace sign thing too, from Uncle Tony, who used to do push-ups with Maddie sitting on his back, counting in a cartoon voice. Mickey Mouse, Goofy. Anyway, after Maddie's cheese and squeeze, we head out to meet Mommy, who is always there on time to meet us in the car pickup line. I'm sure I don't have to tell you what the ride home is like. Maddie, talking. Mona got glue in her hair again. I picked Willa up. Lauren cried 6 times. You know Willa, right? She's bigger than me. Miss S's birthday is on Thursday. I think she's turning like 80. She's so lucky she gets to spend it at the farm. We'll try to get the cows to moo happy birthday to her. Oh, don't forget, you have to drive me to the farm on Thursday, Mommy. Miss S reminded me. I'm reminding you. Hopefully Lauren won't cry the whole time. Anyway, Riley wouldn't pass the ball to me at first, but then she did. And then I passed it back. And then she passed it to Rachel. And then while Maddie'd, I changed my clothes in the back seat. It was my daily shape-shifting routine, which wasn't a big deal because I always wore my shorts under my skirt and a tank top under my button-up, so that by the time I reached MLK Park, my homework started. And I told Maddie what I told her every day, that I'd help her with hers after practice. I was ready to jump out and run from my motor mouth little sister and hit the track, which I gotta admit, for me, even with just a second place ribbon, was sometimes more home than home. Wow, that is the end of chapter 3. We will get to chapter 4 on our wonderful Wednesday broadcast. Well, we see what she thinks about Chester Academy. We'll see if maybe she makes some friends there along the way. Well, my friends, we are at the end of another Miss Hope's reading hour. So glad I got to read these wonderful books with you. And I can't wait until we do it again on our wonderful Wednesday broadcast. Until then, my friends, have a terrific Tuesday and a great beginning to your wonderful Wednesday. And I will see you right back here on our wonderful Wednesday broadcast on Miss Hope's Reading Hour. Until then, my friends, have a great evening, and I will see you then. So, bye for now. Oh, end the broadcast. Bye for now.